Time travel in stories is often a messy thing that can go very, very wrong, and it takes a lot of work to make a story with time travel that people can actually understand and enjoy. So, with all of their wisdom, the writers of Fire Emblem have given the protagonists the ability to travel a few moments back in time for the past 3 games, which of course also allows the player to undo their mistakes for their own convenience. However, these time travel mechanics actually exist diegetically in the world and are sometimes referenced in the story, compared to something that's non-diegetic like the save points in the DS Fire Emblem games. So, since these are actual things that exist within the story, we're going to count every time they could have been used within the narrative itself that I remember. Have fun. In Fire Emblem Echoes, Celica encounters a man that gives her a very useful hint on how to defeat Jedha. However, due to Jedha's curse, he dies soon after. To be frank, it's honestly quite rude that Celica doesn't use the turn wheel here, considering that she would have remembered the information this man gave her if she went back in time, while keeping the man alive. I guess Celica just isn't that appreciative of good advice. Alm kills Rudolph before he realizes that Rudolph is his father, and is very, very sad about this. However, he's not that sad about it because he doesn't immediately go back in time to tell his dad that he already knows the truth about why Rudolph started the war, and that killing Duma would probably be easier if they worked together. I'm not counting Berkut's death since his corruption happened a long time before Alm got there, likely being beyond the time limit of the turn wheel, and I doubt time traveling to try to negotiate with the guy that burned his girlfriend to death would be that effective, you know? I just thought it was worth mentioning to get ahead of the comments. This applies to all situations where the actual bad thing happened before the protagonist got there, like the village in 3 Houses where all the villagers went crazy. Now, you know, this one's a bit more of a personal opinion than anything, but if I was Byleth, and I got into a situation where I was stuck in a room where my potentially 15-year-old student was hitting on me while the romantic music was playing, I would use all of my God-given power to make sure such an event never occurred in any timeline. Geralt's death is actually a time where Byleth does try to use their rewind, but they're stopped by Solon. However, they only tried this once, and at this point in the story I think you have like 10 rewinds, and Solon isn't even that strong of a guy. L. When Edelgard's identity is revealed, they just talk to each other for a solid few minutes before Hubert jumps in and teleports her out. If Byleth had used their time travel here, they could have killed Edelgard before she teleported out, thus stopping the giant war that was about to happen. Rodrigue gets stabbed and dies, while Byleth is right there. I don't think this one requires much elaboration. In Cindered Shadows, they all just kind of stand there while this guy just keeps yapping before he turns into this big demon creature. So me personally, I would have time traveled back to while he was talking and then thrown a rock at his head, so that didn't happen. In 3 Hopes, it's shown that Byleth has Zawarudo, so I'm adding like 30 points for every time that would have been useful in 3 Houses. In Engage, Diamant's dad gets owned by Lyn, which Alir and Diamant directly witness. So, they could have just gone back in time a few seconds and screamed, "Hey dad, look out, that guy's gonna grab your sword," and then shoot you with Lyn Fire Emblem. I'm adding like 7 points for each time the 4 Hounds escape with one of your emblem rings. If you need these things to beat Medius, then why do you just casually keep letting them walk away with them after you beat them? Loptis then shoots Alir with a death beam, and then Alir becomes a zombie, which is a minor inconvenience. In Engage, the turn wheel automatically activates when Alir dies anyway, so she could have just gone back and overcame the skill gap. Finally, Grimace spends like 20 minutes yapping about how he's so sad because the Fire Emblem Engage abandoned him when he was a child. Instead of wasting 20 minutes of their lives listening to how Anonkos thinks he was actually correct for murdering several of his own children because he had a slightly sad past, they could have just saved some time by going back in time before he said all that and pushed him into the endless void they seem to be floating in. So what's the moral of the story here, ladies and gents? Maybe don't have your gameplay mechanics that exist purely for player convenience exist diegetically within the world so that YouTubers who care too much make joke videos about it years later. But anyway, did I miss any? I never played Silver Snow, so I probably did miss a few. Leave a comment if you think I missed any epic situation where Byleth could have stopped time to epically save somebody, and then like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'm almost at 5k subs, and I'm 5 points, so that'd be pretty cool, don't you think? And of course, huge thanks to my patrons Silfer, Ginger, and DS Coda. You can support that too if you want. I don't care, and I promise I'll actually post an actual high-quality, long video again, eventually. I started my first post-college job as a front-end developer this month, so I've had a lot on my plate, new schedule, but YouTube videos eventually. I just kind of made this short joke video on a whim because I thought it'd be funny. I hope it was. Sorry if it wasn't. And alrighty, that's pretty much it. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.